What is up, my lovely little islanders? It is Sydney Island here. That's Island with the Y, not an S. And man, I miss saying that. I freaking miss being in front of the cameras. My life, sometimes it be feeling like shit. And I be going through a lot. But I'm Sydney Island, baby. So I'll always have spirit, okay? I'll always have confidence to live another day, all right? I'm going through a lot, and we're going to talk about that in this video. And make sure you leave your questions in the comment section down below. And man, I miss going live with y'all. Y'all don't know, like, what y'all, like, got me through, like, living with my family, feeling miserable, feeling lonely, being the black sheep, being silenced, being conditioned to feel that my voice is meaningless. And when I speak, I'm wasting oxygen. Being conditioned to feel that way. It felt really good to have a platform where people actually value my voice. So thank y'all so much for like the lives that I went on several months ago. As y'all know, I haven't posted to this channel an actual real full-on video in 4 months. I posted, did I stop making astrology videos? I went live real quick and then I deleted it because I wasn't like completely pleased with that. But anyways, let me just get to the topic of the video. So the first thing that I wrote, I always write my notes down, y'all, is why was I gone? And where was I? So why was I gone from YouTube for 4 months? Why did I stop making the Lilith series like in the middle of the Lilith series? I got to Lilith and Scorpio and then I didn't finish, you know, because it's in order. Scorpio's number 8. I got to number 8 and I didn't finish the rest of the 12. I didn't do Sag, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces, Lilith, and all those signs. I didn't get there. Well, where was I? Well, if y'all been keeping up with my channel and y'all been keeping up with, you know, what's been going on with me, y'all know I was living with my mom and my 2 sisters. And that was freaking miserable. And I'm glad it's over. Man, the sounds in this place. I bet y'all hear that? You can hear neighbors like they in the fucking room, and it gives me anxiety. But anyways, what was I talking about? Okay, so where was I? So as y'all know, I had been living with my mom. And I made so many videos about just being tired of it and being fed up with it. But not once did I think to myself that I could actually manifest myself out. Until I got to my breaking point. And I said to God, take me out of here. I don't care how you do it. Just do it, and do it as soon as possible. I cannot, I will not. I don't know what I'll do to myself, God. God, I'll kill myself if I have to be here. I do not condone suicide on my YouTube channel. I was having suicidal thoughts. Home was that miserable for me. I had no voice. When I would try to talk to my mom about suicidal thoughts, I just wasn't getting anywhere. You know, and this is my channel and I got to speak my truth. And I know she wants me to talk about her in a certain way, or, you know, have a different perspective on her than what she wants me to have on her. But you perceive me in a way that I don't want you to perceive me. So that's life, you know. So I got to speak my truth and not really worry about what other people think. You know, because this is my life and this is my perspective. And you weren't there when I was sitting in my therapist's office. As soon as I came in to talk to her, I couldn't even get my words out. I couldn't even really start the conversation because I started crying, and I just kept crying and crying and crying so hard. Like I was going to like pass out because I just didn't have a voice. Because I came to my mom and was like, yo, like I'm having suicidal thoughts. I'm so sad. And it's like, I felt like she couldn't really do anything and she didn't really make me feel, you know, validated. As the days go on, I'm looking at myself and I'm like, you are cute without makeup. Because there's been times when I felt like I wasn't cute without makeup. Like, yeah, it's toxic. It's toxic, and we're not going to do that because I wasn't born with makeup on my face. I got to embrace the way that God made me, baby. All right, so where was I? So I manifested myself out. This was 4 months ago. And so I asked my friend, could I stay with her? So I skipped the part. Me and my sisters got into a huge argument. One of the worst fights we had ever gotten into. And we got into some pretty bad arguments in the past. Like really horrible, terrifying, nightmarish screaming. That was in the past. And then the argument that we had right before I left was just, it was just like, yeah, the stuff that we're saying to each other, we're never going to talk to each other again. We're never going to want to talk to each other again. And if we do talk to each other again, it's going to be when we're all like in our 40s. Like that's the kind of feelings that I was feeling. So yeah, yeah. So I went to my friend's place with her baby and her husband and her brothers, and I slept on the couch, and it was only for a week, and I got exactly what I manifested, because right after we had the argument, I went outside and I was like, God, just send me to at least a halfway decent place. And then that's where I went, and it was halfway decent because I was sleeping on the couch, and her husband was like really, really loud playing video games until 6 o'clock in the morning right there in the living room where I was sleeping. So it was very hard. And me, I can't do loud noises for a continuous amount of time because I can be a real introvert. So that was freaking hard. And it was only a week. And I just was going through it, y'all. Like, I was not eating. I was severely underweight. And I might get emotional talking about this because this is my story. This is the stuff that I've been going through I've just been going through a lot. So I was going through it. I was severely underweight. I wasn't eating. And I felt just very, very much alone. Even though I was living with 3 other people, I felt just so alone. And even just now, like, talking on the phone with my mom, it's just like, I just feel like she don't care about my feelings. Like, I know she loves me, but I feel like she can just say whatever to me in whatever kind of way, and it don't matter. But if I have a tone with her, it's the end of the world, you know? Like, it's okay for her to walk over me and have a bad attitude with me. But God forbid I get an attitude with her. Like, let me crap on you, but don't you dare crap on me. You know? And that's kind of how I feel, you know? And I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to pretend that I don't feel the way that I feel just because of people's ego and how they want you to represent them. If you want to be represented a certain way, represent yourself to be that way. Okay? Don't try to get me to not speak my truth. Okay? So, and I know that me saying all this, you know, I know her mindset is going to be, oh, look at her on YouTube. She don't appreciate me. She's such a villain. The villain, the monster. You know, I'm always the villain and the monster in my family. You know, for having a different opinion, or for not thinking the way they want me to think, or for not doing things the way they want me to do things. And I'm definitely not perfect. I've definitely been selfish. I've definitely been immature. I definitely didn't do all that I could do in my life. I definitely didn't pull my weight at times. But all in all, I was a good fucking person. And it's not my fault that you can't see that. So I'm just letting it out. But I was gone. And I was there for a week with my friend. And my friend, we finally sat down after being there for a couple of days. You know, she'd been busy, you know, with her baby and everything. And she finally sat down and was like, Sydney, like, so what's really been going on? Like, what happened? You know, because all I told her when she picked me up was, you know, they said that they're done with me. You know, they were just like, you got to go. You got to leave, like, get out. And of course, y'all thinking like, I know you're thinking like, okay, you're grown. They're grown. Can't nobody tell a grown person to leave. But the thing is, I was ready to go. I manifested myself out. So I'm like, okay, universe is clearly telling me it's time to go. So anyways, she was like, see, what's going on? Like, what happened? And, you know, we talked about it, and I cried. And I got emotional. I was very, very emotional. I'm a very emotional person. And I just cried about everything to her. And she was like, well, maybe you should go to so-and-so place. I don't want to give the name of the place away, you know, for safety reasons. It's the name of a behavioral services place where you go to therapy, and, you know, you get your, you know, it's where you get anxiety medicines. You know, it's a mental health place. And she was like, why don't you go here? You can stay there. They allow you to stay there for about a week for free. You don't have to pay anything, and they'll just give you therapy, and they have programs, and they can help you. So I was like, okay, let's do that. Because she was like, you're clearly going through it, and you need some mental help. Because I was going through it. Like, I thought I was going to kill myself. And I was going through all of that. And in the midst of me going through all of that, my family jumps on me because I can no longer bear going to work while I'm feeling dizzy, while I feel like I'm gonna pass out all the time, every time I go to work, I'm like going to the bathroom, hyperventilating. Like, who the hell should continue to live like that? And if you truly love a person, you would not want them to go through that. But a part of it was like, a huge part of it was my fault that I wasn't talking about what I was going through because I felt I couldn't. I felt I didn't have a voice. So I was going through this behind closed doors. The panic attacks, the starving myself, the dizziness, the lightheadedness, feeling like I'm a faint. Like, it was just a lot. And then my family jumped on me. Yeah, it's just, it's so much I can't even get into it. But so I went to this behavioral, y'all, this is gonna be a long video. This is just what I've been through these past few months, okay? And so I was sent to the mental health place, the nut house. Ooh, I'm crazy. I was sent to the nut house. So I was sent to the nut house with the nutties. And, you know, the recovering addicts and things like that. And I actually had a better time than I thought. I was there for a week, and it was actually a really divine time. I talked to some people there that it was cool. Like, I made a friend with this dude. It was this dark-skinned dude. I can't remember his name, but he had a crush on me, and he was asking me if I had a boyfriend. You know, we was just friends. I didn't really want a relationship because I was going through so much. And I told him, I'm like, we're both in a nut house, bro. Like, I mean, well, it's not a nut house because a lot of people are there to recover from addictions and, you know, alcohol addiction, drug addictions. And, you know, people come there when they're just stressed, like me, overwhelmed, having mental breakdowns, and people with mental illness or whatever. So it was less a nut house and more a place for people to recover from addictions. And he was in that, you know, space where he was recovering from drug addiction and marijuana addiction, and he was doing cocaine and things like that. He was a cool dude. Like, he was a solid, cool black brother. And we vibed. You know, we really vibed. We was talking about God. We was talking about spirituality. Like, it was cool. Man, I done lived. I done lived a life, baby. I done been doing it. I don't know how I'm still alive sometimes. I don't know how I ain't done committed suicide because I done been through some shit. And people were trying to tell me that I ain't been through nothing, that I'm just having a good old time. Yeah. I'm riding on the unicorns on a rainbow, glittery, sparkly rainbow. I ain't got no fucking problems. And here I am hyperventilating behind closed doors, having panic attacks all the goddamn time, ready to kill myself. But, you know, people ain't shit and people stupid and they're not perceptive. So, of course, they're going to say some shit like that. And am I losing my mind a little bit? Yeah, okay. It's about to be that time of the month. I get a little crazy. All right. So, yeah, cool black brother in the mental nut house. So, what else happened? God, get back to where you was at. Okay, we're just going down a journey of what the heck happened and how did I get to this point where I'm in a hotel right now. Again, by myself. So, oh yeah, and I'm packing too. Like, I got my suitcase out. My baby's got a suitcase. You see this suitcase right here? Yeah. I'm packing because I'm leaving. Don't know where I'm going, but I know that God is going to protect me. God gonna put me in a good place. Can I get an amen? Praise God. Hallelujah. Okay, anyways, I don't know why I'm so extra right now, but I got a lot of energy I need to let out, bro. That's why I love doing YouTube, because I just release all that crazy energy. So anyways, girl, get grounded. Where was I at? I gotta breathe for a second, y'all. So during that time, we were not allowed to be on our phones. They took our phones from us, and I was on phone restriction. Why did I say I was on phone restriction? We all had our phones taken away. So we all were on phone restriction. I'm not sure really why. I don't know. So we couldn't use our phones. So for a whole week, I didn't have access to my phone. I had to call on this hallway, old school looking phone. Man, it was an experience. And I talked to this cool old white lady. I remember her name. Shout out to Carrie if you watch this video. Man, she was so freaking sweet. Like, she said, oh my gosh, you look like a model. You look like you could be on America's Next Top Model. And she was a huge fan of America's Next Top Model. And she would tell me how beautiful I was and tell me that I looked like a model. And she loved me. Like, this woman loved me and I loved her. Like, she was so sweet. And she was an elementary school teacher, which is what I went to school for, but I didn't do it. So we had that kind of in common. And we just vibe. Like, I just vibe with this, like, 60, 70-year-old white lady. Like, she was this cute little itty bitty, skinny mini little white lady. And we vibed on the fact that we had a lot of digestive issues and was skinny as fuck because of it. So, yeah, shout out to Carrie if you're watching this video. You're a real one, sis. I remember her being a Gemini. Yeah, she said she was a nervous kid. My memory is exquisite. When I tell you my memory is exquisite, I remember a lot of shit, like down to the detail. And there's something in my birth chart that says that I would have really good memory. But anyways, so it was, yeah, I was vibing. I was vibing with people, and I was having experiences, and I learned there, and I gave to people. You know, I gave my food to people, you know. And there was this other white lady named Candy who was really sweet, but she was really a sad soul. Man, this video gonna be long. It's gonna probably be like 3 parts. She was a really sad soul, and she you know, was recovering. You know, she was an addict, and she didn't have anywhere to go. And we talked, you know, we sat and we talked. And, you know, she said that she was used to feeling overlooked, and, you know, I could relate to that. And so we talked. Man, I forgot about these experiences. They just kind of hit you as you talk about it. And I really encouraged the fuck out of that woman, because she was really sweet. And I'm realizing, like, I'm a real one. Like, I'm a fucking real one. And it's a shame that some people don't know it. But at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck. I know it. So, yeah, she was cool. And I encouraged the fuck out of her, you know, because she was so sad, and she had been through so much trauma. And just the stuff that she told me, it was just, wow. And I just really tried to encourage her. And right before I left, she was like, Sydney, I wish you the best. Like, I really do. You know, and she was just so sweet. And I connected with a lot of people there. And I had a really good therapist. It was this dope black dude with glasses, and he was really smart, and he really opened my eyes to some things, and he was really good. Like, we were really compatible. I mean, it means a lot to a person who's interested in psychology like me to have a therapist that I connect with and have something in common with. So that was really fucking cool, you know. The experience was cool. And life be hard, but I always, at the end of it all, have to say to myself, like, it was a cool experience. What's that noise? Yeah, you be hearing weird noises when you live in a dinky motel. But anyways, I was saying, yeah, at the end of it all, I'm always gonna say that was a cool ass experience. No matter how hard it was, I'm always gonna say, you know what? It made me a better person, and it made me a stronger person. And I'm becoming a bad bitch. So I experienced it. I mean, I'm probably gonna end up writing an autobiography, so I will spare y'all all the details. I've already gotten so freaking detailed in this 18-minute video. I'm probably gonna have to make a part 2. But so I lived, you know, and I was writing poetry at that time in my room, and, you know, I was living, I was experiencing. And that it was difficult, you know. I ended up having vomiting and diarrhea because of severe acid reflux, because I ate onions, and they couldn't feed me because I have celiac disease, which is a wheat gluten intolerance issue. And it was hard, but I don't regret it at all. I'm the type of person where I'm a soldier, like, and I didn't really see myself like that. Like, I know I'm strong, but, like, I didn't see myself like that until this dude that I had went on a date with recently. Fine black man. I mean, when I tell you, exquisite, chocolate, fine black man. He had the same name as my dad, so I'm like, but anyways, fine black man, right? When we were on a date, and he was like, yeah, like, you're going through it right now. You know, that was recently. And and I'm like, yeah, but I don't carry it like that. You know, I'm a very bubbly, happy, like, kind of person. And he was like, yeah, because you're a soldier. And I kind of just paused for a moment. I'm like, I'm a fucking soldier. I'm strong. Yeah, god damn it. I'm a soldier. And that, yeah, and now I use that now. Like, Sydney, you're a soldier. I stick with that, you know. I'm going through a lot, and at the end of the day, sometimes you really only have yourself, you know. And right now I'm by myself. I mean, I have friends, but, you know, right now I just got me. So this is the stuff I really wanted to get off my chest. I thought I was just going to strictly talk about astrology videos, but I'm clearly talking about my life. So, yeah, where did I leave off at? The mental behavioral place was, yeah, I experienced life there. And I learned about myself as I was writing poetry. It was a lot for a person who loves to be out in nature. We couldn't go outside for a whole week locked inside. but it was something that I needed. I think I really did need to get away. You know, I really needed to get away from life. And I think it was best for me to be locked away. So the next events after I left Pathways and I connected with people and I lived life, and I definitely will talk more about my experiences there, but in my book, because I know God's like, girl, you should write an autobiography because I've lived life. So we're moving forward now. And so this mental health behavioral place is sending me to a women's shelter. This is the next event after the mental health behavioral experience. I didn't have any other option. I was like, I'm not going to go back home. And God orchestrated it in a way where I had no choice but to go to this particular women's shelter. So I went after a phone call with this older white man who ran the shelter. And he said he had the gift of reading people's hearts. And man, I definitely need to write about this. I need to write a book about my life. And he read me, you know. At the time, I really felt like he really read me, and I ended up crying on that phone. Yeah. The experiences that I had with that man. And he pretty much said that you spend your whole life trying to please everybody else and trying to do what everybody else wants you to do, but you never really do anything for yourself. I'm looking at the time because I don't want to go over time. And that was very true. So many of the decisions that I made was to please my mom, you know, and to please my sisters, and doing stuff that I thought other people wanted me to do. He was like, well, you're at this point now where you can't go on like that anymore. And that was very true. He said a lot of things to me that was very true. Some stuff he said to me that I'm like, okay, now your ego just in this, and you really just trying to act like you know me, sir. He's like, well, you just gave up on life. Like, if filming YouTube videos nonstop while I'm feeling lightheaded and working a part-time job is giving up on life, then you got life screwed up, my friend. But yeah, I'm a Taurus. We real bullheaded, like... we'll listen. Like, I'm a very understanding person and very receptive. Like, I'll sit and listen, but don't try to tell me who I am. But you know, there were some things that he said that really resonated with my heart. And so I knew that was where I was supposed to go, because what he said resonated so well. So I went to the shelter, and stay tuned for part 2. My life is so freaking interesting, isn't it? Girl, shut up. Don't make a damn about your weak ass life, girl. Who the fuck are you? Just a little nerdy black girl with glasses on. Don't I give a fuck about your life. But fuck you. Fuck you. I don't give a fuck what you think. Well, come on, let's go. Let's go. Meet me outside, bitch. Yeah. So stay tuned for part 2. No, seriously. I feel like I got a few more minutes left. So fast forward, I'm arriving at the women's shelter, and I felt comfortable. The beginning stages were cool. I'm feeling a little bit dizzy. I don't know why, child. I've been dealing with this for quite a while. Maybe just, yeah, it's definitely stress. It's always stress. But fast forward, and I'm in the shelter, and I feel safe, and I feel comfortable. And I'm experiencing, like, y'all about to dig up my nose, and I'm experiencing a certain amount of peace that I really was dying to experience. The beginning of this experience was something else, man. And then it flipped. The experience here flipped upside down, and it turned into a whole different experience than what I ever could imagine it to turn into. And I met people I didn't ever imagine I would meet. And I've had experiences that are supernatural experiences that I never in a million years thought I would experience. And I did receive a lot of more love than I thought I would have received. But I manifested at the same time. I said, God, send me to a place where I just feel loved. And I got a lot of love from the women at that shelter. But so that's one of the places, and I did get kicked out of that shelter, and so that's why I'm here in a dinky hotel. Isn't life grand? But you know what? I trust the universe. It's like, I really just trust the universe. And y'all just hear the events in my life, and y'all just like, girl, like, you've been through it. Like, how are you able to just put on a smile? And the smile is authentic. The smile is real. The smile comes from my heart. Like, it's hard. But I'm a strong black woman, honey. And I have immense faith in God. Like, when I tell you immense faith, I know that everything happens for a reason. And things are happening for you, not against you or not to you, you know? It's always happening for my soul's evolution. Everything that I'm going through is happening for me to grow and to evolve and to be a better version of myself, you know? All it is just lessons. It's just an opportunity for me to learn. And I'm learning all that I can possibly learn so that I can elevate into a more wise, mature being. So, yeah, stay tuned for part 2. I'm going to go in more depth about all the experiences that I have. Hold on, somebody called me. Well, I guess that's the end of the video, so talk to y'all later.